A man walks out of a grocery store. Faded jeans, a plain shirt, both hands full of grocery bags. Anyone glancing at him would assume he's just an average guy barely getting by. But on his left wrist is a watch worth more than his entire car, and nobody even notices. Why? Because truly wealthy people hide their money, they don't show it off. Now think about it for a second. How many genuinely wealthy people are walking around your own city, your own street, maybe even your own office, and you have no idea? And how many people who look rich, flashy car, designer clothes are actually drowning in debt behind closed doors? If you think you can spot a wealthy person just by how they dress or what they drive, this video is about to change the way you see people completely. Today we're breaking down 10 signs that someone is genuinely rich, even if they look completely broke on the surface. And by the end of this video, we're also covering the biggest wealth trend of 2026, quiet luxury, and how it's reshaping the way rich people live all over the world. Everything in this video is for general awareness and entertainment purposes only. This is not financial advice, and it's not a claim about any specific individual's wealth. Everyone's financial situation is different, so always consult your own financial advisor before making any money decisions. Now let's get into it. The first sign is their car. Genuinely wealthy people often drive something simple and reliable, a Honda, a Toyota. Nothing flashy. Warren Buffett, one of the richest investors on the planet, has lived in the same modest house for decades and keeps his entire lifestyle understated. The reason is simple. Real wealth understands that a car is a depreciating asset. It loses value every single year. People trying to look rich lease flashy sports cars they don't actually own. The bank owns them. But people who are actually wealthy see a car as transportation, not a status symbol. In 2026, there's actually a growing trend in the auto industry called stealth wealth cars, where buyers pick high-end vehicles that look completely plain on the outside, but are packed with premium engineering underneath. It's built around the idea of if you know. Only people in that world recognize what they're looking at. To everyone else, it's just a regular car. The second sign is how they dress. You'll rarely see a genuinely wealthy person covered head to toe in logos. Their clothes are simple, but if you look closely, the fabric quality, the stitching, and the fit are exceptional. This is what's now being called quiet luxury or old money style, and in 2026 this trend is at its absolute peak. It means wealth is signaled quietly through fabric, cut, and craftsmanship, not by shouting it through a logo. On the flip side, people trying to look rich cover themselves in loud designer branding. But here's an interesting fact: nearly half of all global luxury sales actually come from middle-income buyers, which means wearing a logo isn't proof of wealth at all. In 2026, the leading quiet luxury brands are names like Loro Piana, Brunello Cucinelli, The Row, Hermes, Kate, Bottega Veneta, Max Mara, La Mer, Toteme, and Zegna. None of these brands build their identity around logos, they build it around fabric and craftsmanship. It's practically a secret handshake, only people already in that world can recognize it. The third sign is where they live. Many genuinely wealthy people live in a completely normal, unremarkable neighborhood instead of some flashy gated community where everyone can see their wealth. This is a deliberate choice made for privacy and security. Once people know you're wealthy, you attract unwanted attention, jealousy, and sometimes real security risks. So truly rich people avoid putting their wealth on display. They send their kids to normal schools, let them grow up around normal neighborhoods so they don't develop a sense of entitlement. The fourth sign is their spending habits. You'd think wealthy people swipe their credit cards without a second thought, but the reality is the opposite. Genuinely wealthy people track their money carefully. They pack lunch instead of buying it, they look for deals, and they avoid unnecessary spending. This habit is actually the cause of their wealth, not the result of it. They were disciplined with money long before they had a lot of it, and that discipline is exactly what let them build wealth in the first place. Compare that to people trying to look rich. They spend beyond their income on new gadgets, expensive dinners, and impulsive trips, and then face overdraft fees by the end of the month. It becomes a cycle that quietly destroys their future wealth. The fifth sign is their time horizon. Genuinely rich people spread their money across stocks, bonds, real estate, and diversified investments. They work with financial advisors to build long-term strategies instead of chasing quick wins. People who are financially stretched are forced to think short-term because they're dealing with today's problems. But people who are wealthy have the luxury of thinking in 10, 20, even 30-year time frames. This mindset alone might be the biggest difference between someone who's genuinely rich and someone who just has cash on hand temporarily. The sixth sign is their social circle. Truly wealthy people build relationships around shared interests and genuine connection, not money. They don't talk about their net worth, their investment wins, or their salary in front of others. It's a subtle but powerful sign. People who constantly bring up their wealth are often masking insecurity. Genuinely rich people don't feel that need. They have nothing to prove to anyone. The seventh sign is how they give to charity. Genuinely wealthy people donate without putting their name in lights. They don't need recognition. They understand that the real reward is in giving, not in being seen giving. People trying to validate their wealth, on the other hand, post their donations on social media and issue press releases just to make sure everyone knows how much they gave. The eighth sign is their manners and their quiet confidence. With genuinely rich people, you'll almost always notice excellent etiquette paired with quiet confidence. They don't overcompensate, and they don't name drop. It's usually a product of how they were raised, often in families where grace and etiquette were simply expected. That confidence isn't performative. It's a calm, secure feeling you can sense without a single word being said. When someone stops trying to prove their wealth, that's usually when you know it's real. The ninth sign is their social media presence. You'll notice that truly wealthy people aren't very active online. They don't broadcast their personal life, their properties, or their vacations to the world. It's a conscious choice. They value privacy and security more than showing off. People who post every luxury purchase are often more focused on building an image than actually living their life. The 10th and final sign is the kind of activities they enjoy and the size of their circle. Genuinely wealthy people lean toward activities with real depth: reading, learning, family time, meaningful conversation instead of chasing instant gratification like blowing money at a bar or throwing yacht parties. Their social circle tends to be small and genuine rather than large and superficial. They prioritize quality relationships over quantity. Put all 10 of these signs together, and a clear pattern emerges. Real wealth isn't loud. It's quiet. Now let's talk about the biggest update from 2026, which makes this whole topic even more relevant. The quiet luxury or stealth wealth trend is at a new peak in 2026, but its nature has shifted. It started as a fashion trend popularized by HBO's Succession. Now, it's become a full-blown cultural movement. According to the 2026 Global Powers of Luxury report, this inconspicuous consumption spending, without flaunting it, now functions like a secret handshake among elite circles. Status is no longer signaled to the masses. It's signaled horizontally to people who can actually recognize a hand-stitched Italian leather bag or a plain but premium cashmere coat. There are two big reasons behind this. First, economic anxiety as inflation and economic uncertainty rose worldwide. Flaunting wealth openly started to feel tone-deaf, even rude. Second, social media burnout. People are tired of performative influencer culture, and this digital fatigue is pushing people back toward restraint and subtlety. Interestingly, this trend is showing up in resale markets too. Quiet luxury items hold their resale value much better, while old-school logo-heavy luxury goods lose value faster, because craftsmanship and discretion are now worth more than flash. Another new angle that emerged in 2026 is that stealth wealth isn't limited to fashion anymore. It's spread into the auto industry as well. High net worth buyers are now choosing luxury cars that look plain on the outside but are engineered at the highest level, following that same if you know philosophy. And this trend isn't confined to Western countries either. In emerging markets like China, demand for quiet luxury is growing rapidly, while in Western markets the general buzz has leveled off a bit, though demand remains strong, especially for minimalist watches and quality basics. One more thing worth noting is the gender angle. Men's quiet luxury style in 2026 leans towards slim leather belts, understated timepieces, tortoiseshell sunglasses, and pocket squares in muted tones, small details that quietly elevate an entire outfit without a single visible logo. For women, the trend has shifted toward cashmere hoodies, camel coats, and neutral tones where every seam and cut is deliberately thought through. So the real question is this just for rich people, or can the rest of us adopt this mindset too? The answer is yes, absolutely. No matter how much money you currently have, you can apply these same principles, avoiding unnecessary displays, investing your money wisely, building genuine relationships, and refusing to measure your worth by material things. Real wealth isn't just a bank balance, it's a mindset. And that mindset is something anyone can build, no matter where they're starting from. So those were the 10 signs that someone is genuinely rich, even if they look completely ordinary on the outside, and how, in 2026. This whole concept has reached a whole new level. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and let us know in the comments which sign do you think reveals real wealth the most. Remember, this video is for information and awareness purposes only, and it's not financial advice. See you in the next video. Stay smart, stay quiet, and be genuinely wealthy.